Today we're going to play Wingspan, a game designed by Elizabeth Hargrave and published by Stonemaier Games. Wingspan is card-centric and built around 170 uniquely illustrated bird cards. Each player gets a map that's divided into 3 habitats: forest, grassland, and wetlands. Each bird card indicates which habitat it can be played in this case the grassland. Some birds can be played in multiple habitats. Food tokens are required as a one-time cost to attract birds to one of your habitats. These include seed, fish, rodents, fruit, and invertebrates. The bird food cost is indicated in the top left-hand corner of the card, in this case 2 invertebrates and a fruit. When a slash is present, either food type can be paid. A wild indicates that any food type can be paid. Birds are always played in the leftmost open position of a given habitat. Depending on where a bird is played, it may also carry an egg cost indicated on the map. Here, no egg is required. If a bird is played in this column, an egg must be given in payment. The game includes a number of premium wooden pieces, such as the egg miniatures, custom wooden dice, and wooden action cubes. On a player's turn, they can take one of 4 actions. Play a bird if they have the appropriate resources, gain food from the bird feeder, lay eggs, or draw additional bird cards. Here Ellie is going to play a bird. She places her action cube, pays the corresponding egg cost, and the corresponding food cost. Her action cube is then moved to the left, indicating the end of her turn. Sarah is going to gain food. She places her action cube and discards a card that allows her to take 1 additional food token. She's limited by the food types that are shown in the bird feeder, in this case seed or fish. She decides to take a seed. And with only 1 food type shown in the bird feeder, the player has an option of re-rolling the dice. It looks like Sarah wanted a rodent, the only resource not shown. Ellie places her action cube to lay eggs. She's given 3 eggs that must be played on birds within her habitats. The birds must also have space within their nests. Here the scaled quail has 6 egg spots, and the fish crow 2. Once the eggs are placed, Ellie will move her action cube to the left and has the opportunity to activate the abilities of these birds. The scaled quail lays an egg, and the fish crow consumes an egg, giving Ellie any type of food resource from the supply. Here Sarah decides to draw additional bird cards. She places her action cube, takes 1 face-up card from the bird tray, and then by paying an egg, is able to take 1 additional card. Her action cube then moves to the left, where she can activate the ability of her Eastern Phoebe. All players will gain 1 invertebrate from the supply. The game is divided into 4 rounds, and each player is given 8 action cubes. Each round has a bonus that the player can try to meet to gain additional points. These are randomly assigned at the beginning of the game. Some examples are birds in the grassland, eggs in a specific nest type, or eggs in the forest habitat. At the end of each round, each player places an action cube for that round corresponding to the number of times in which they've met that goal. For example, the blue player has 3 birds in their wetlands habitat. These action cubes remain on the board, and so for each round, there is one less action that players are able to take. Over the course of an entire game, players are able to take 26 actions. Finally, there are 26 bonus cards that give players an additional chance at earning points. Some of these are distributed at the beginning of the game, and others can be earned along the way. At the end of the game, players earn points across 6 categories. The first are bird points, which are indicated on the left-hand side of each bird card. Any points earned from bonus cards are entered. Points from the goal board are then summed for each player. Players count all of the eggs that they finish the game with. Some birds have powers that allow you to cash food tokens on them. Count all of these food tokens. And finally, some birds allow you to tuck cards behind them. Count all of these tuck cards. Whoever has the most points wins. Alright, now we're going to talk about some basic strategy for Wingspan.
Yeah, I think we all have strategies, different strategies, but my personal strategy is that I try to get a bunch of birds in my eggs area that have like different abilities that cover all the areas, so I just have to take one turn in one spot.
I like to make sure I'm hitting all the bonuses on the card, try and get 5 in every spot if I can, and I also like to try and get the high point card birds so that I have lots of points at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think I like to play cards that are going to hit multiple things at once, so a high point card for a bird, but also that meets a bonus, and something that may have a power that also contributes to collecting resources.
I also normally go for the end of round goals because those can get you a lot of points at the end of the round, and normally more points than the bonus cards.
It's also good to get 1 or 2 birds in each section if you can, so that you maximize the amount of resources or cards or eggs that you can get, because that really makes it easier for you to get more points in the game.
Yeah, and another thing that I try to do is not hold on to something for too many rounds. If you have a card that you're dwelling on playing, then you're missing out on activating some of the abilities of other birds that you may have otherwise played.
Well, hopefully that gives you some nice tips and tricks on your first game of Wingspan.
Alright, so let's give Wingspan our rating. We'll start with inclusivity, which is the number of simultaneous players, and the learning curve for new players.
Wingspan is a 5-player game, and it takes about 2 or 3 playthroughs to understand, so I would call it a somewhat inclusive game.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a learning curve to it, and new players may have some challenges the first time around. So what do we give this for stars, Ellie?
2 stars.
Alright, next we're going to talk about amusement, which is player engagement with the game and others, and the collective fun and laughter with the game.
Well, I find it really fun because it makes my brain work.
Yeah, it makes your brain work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a challenge to think and solve the problems as you go, huh?
Yes, and it's fun.
Alright, so Ellie, what do we give this game for stars for amusement?
3 stars.
Quality refers to the play efficiency and fit and finish of the game.
Well, I think it's very nice with wooden pieces, and it makes the game more enjoyable to play.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of cardboard in it too, but overall the game is put together really well, and the illustrations on the cards are beautiful. I think the game is well balanced and has a really good play efficiency. So what do we give it for stars, Ellie?
4 stars.
Replayability. This refers to the gameplay variety and challenges and the permutations of experience.
We get a different experience each time because there are different end-of-round goals and different bonus cards.
Yeah, and the 170 different bird cards offer a whole bunch of different features that can be activated. So there's a ton of replayability with this game. What do we give this for stars?
5 stars.
Finally, we have Intangibles, which touch on innovation and nostalgia.
Well, it's not a very innovative game because there are a lot of other engine building games.
Yeah, that's true, Ellie. And I also would say that it's not a very nostalgic game. But I will say that the fact that the ecosystem of the game is an ecosystem is pretty interesting. So what do we give it for stars?
2 stars.
Overall, Wingspan is a fun game, though, and we really enjoyed playing it. What do we give it for stars?
3 stars.
Thanks for joining us as we played Wingspan today. Please like and subscribe to help our channel, and we'll see you next time.